You hear about masculine and feminine energy everywhere on the twin flame journey. Balance your masculine, heal your feminine, awaken the divine feminine, activate the divine masculine. It can begin to feel as though your spiritual evolution hinges on getting these energies right. And while there is truth woven into these teachings, there is also a subtle trap that many on this path fall into without realizing it. Masculine and feminine energies are real and they do manifest within you, but they are not what you think they are, and they are not the destination. The polarities of masculine and feminine energy exist in every human being. This is not a twin flame concept, it is a foundational principle of physical existence. Everything that manifests in the 3D world arises from opposites: expansion and contraction, light and dark, stillness and movement, masculine and feminine. Your physical body itself is the result of polarity. Biology, reproduction, chemistry, physics all operate through opposing forces that interact to create form. Even language is structured this way: subject and object, positive and negative, active and passive. Our entire way of understanding reality depends on contrast. So, of course, masculine and feminine energy show up strongly on the twin flame journey. This journey magnifies everything that already exists within you. It pushes polarity to the surface so that it can be seen, experienced, and eventually transcended. When you begin to awaken spiritually, the mind desperately tries to keep up. It wants definitions, labels, systems. The ego feels unsafe when it cannot conceptualize something. So it reaches for frameworks that feel familiar and structured. Masculine and feminine energy become one such framework. They give the mind something to hold on to, something to organize experience around. And for a time, this is useful. These concepts act as signposts. They help you observe your conditioning, your wounds, your patterns of overdoing or underdoing, and control or collapse. But signposts are not the destination. The mistake happens when you start to believe that the truth itself is contained in the signpost. You're often told that the goal is to balance your masculine and feminine energies. And on a psychological level, this can be helpful. Learning to soften where you have hardened, learning to take action where you have been passive, learning to feel where you have dissociated, learning to ground where you have floated away. But when you move into soul, consciousness, the universe, and God, balance becomes a misleading concept. You do not actually know what the soul is made of. None of us do. You do not know whether the soul consists of masculine and feminine energy at all. You only interpret it that way because the human mind can only understand reality through duality, through opposites, through contrast. Even when people receive visions, downloads, or profound mystical experiences, those experiences still have to be translated through a 3D brain, through language, through symbolism, through polarity. That does not make those experiences untrue, but it does mean they are filtered. The deeper you go on this journey, the more you realize that the truth cannot be explained. It is beyond mind, beyond words, beyond concept. It is everything and nothing. And not that at all. You can read or watch 1,000 spiritual teachings. You can study every concept about masculine and feminine energy, but none of those things will give you enlightenment. They can only point. Words are fingers pointing at the moon, and eventually you must stop staring at the finger. There comes a point where even spiritual concepts become a crutch, an identity. I am the healed feminine. I am the embodied masculine. And the moment you attach your sense of self to these ideas, they stop serving you. They become just another layer of ego. The twin flame journey intensifies polarity because it is designed to collapse it. At first, it feels like you and your twin represent opposite energies. One appears more masculine, the other more feminine. One seems awake, the other asleep. One leads, the other follows. But this is not the final truth. It is the phase where the mind is still interpreting the experience through separation. As you progress, something shifts. You begin to realize that the push and pull, the polarity, the tension, it is all happening within you. The external experience is simply reflecting an internal process of integration and eventual transcendence. This is why trying to fix or balance your energy through effort often leads to exhaustion. You cannot force transcendence. You cannot think your way out of duality. You can only see through it. It's important not to grip too tightly to the idea that your soul must be balanced, healed, or perfected through masculine and feminine integration. You don't actually know what lies beyond this realm. You don't know what the soul truly is. And that's okay. Humility is part of awakening. Teachings are temporary tools. They serve you until they don't. When a concept has done its job, you are meant to drop it. If you don't, it becomes something you defend, identify with, and unconsciously use to feel further along than others. And that, in itself, keeps you stuck. Eventually, this journey asks you to stop trying, stop balancing, stop fixing, stop becoming, and simply be, not masculine, not feminine, not awakened, not healed, just present. In that presence, something far greater than polarity reveals itself, not as a concept, but as a knowing, a remembrance, a quiet truth that does not need language to validate it. This is where real integration happens, not because you achieved balance, but because the need for balance dissolved altogether. If you're ready to go deeper into your journey and receive personalized guidance, you can book a one-on-one chat session with me, which I offer on a pay what feels right to you basis, using the link in the description. I have also created a free 30-day soul alignment program, which you can either access through my website or right here on YouTube. I've put the links to that in the description too. Stay present, stay aligned, and remember, love is your truth.